Hi everybody, Ms. Rivera here. I am shooting a little video just to show you and explain all the parts of the diorama project that my third graders will be completing this year. I'm going to talk about the rubric and all the parts that need to be included in order to get full points. And I'm also going to be talking about the research paper that the students have to fill out in order to have every necessary part of their diorama completed. So the students received a letter, kind of a welcome letter to the project explaining when it will be due. And now I'm going to explain the rubric and the animal research paper. I'm going to start with the animal research paper. It looks like this. They will write their name and the date for today, whatever date that might be. Name, this is the name of the animals that they chose. They already know which animal they're doing. Classification means, is it a mammal? Is it a reptile? Is it an amphibian? Is it a bird? Is it a fish? The habitat, does it live in a jungle, in a savanna, in a tundra, in the sea? So that's the type of habitat. For location, that's where in the world it's located. So it's not the same as habitat, because habitat is classifying the type of area it lives. Location is more specific to around the world. For example, found in the African continent or found in a specific country. For type of home, does it make a den? Does it make a burrow? Does it make a nest? Does it live inside of a tree? That kind of thing needs to be put on there. Diet is what it's eating. What kind of things does it eat? Predators. Is there a natural predator that hunts for your animal? Abundance, about how many are left in the world of your particular animal. Offspring, does it have only one at a time? Does it have several? Does it lay eggs? Life expectancy, how many years is it expected to live in the wild? Right here, plants in its habitat. You have to name 3 different types of plants that could be found in that type of habitat, and 3 other animals other than itself that also share that same habitat with it. Okay, so after you fill that out by looking up information online or in a book, then that is all going to be very useful to actually build your diorama. Now, for your diorama, you need to have a shoebox. I would go away from for example, the Chuck Converse boxes. They're very tiny, so I would go for a bigger box, preferably one that has a lid attached, but it can also be a separated lid if you glue them together to the bottom. I sent a link to all parents that have a Google search image so you can see some examples. Image search. So here are the points. These 10 points are going to be awarded at the end when the students present their projects. These 10 points will be for a paragraph that they will write about the animal that they chose and researched. Then over here, your chosen animal needs to be the central focus of your project. So I know that you'll be including maybe other animals that live there, but I need to be able to tell which animal you chose just by looking at it. It needs to be obvious, okay? We have to correctly depict its habitat. That means that if your animal lives in the ocean, I shouldn't see a desert, I should see the ocean. Okay, then we also have that the inside of the shoebox must be completely covered. I shouldn't see cardboard on the inside. It should have either paper or paint or something where it's completely transformed into its habitat. You should include 3 types of vegetation found in your animal's habitat. So that's where the animal research comes in, because you already found examples of 3 vegetations that you can include. And by the way, if you put grass on the bottom, that counts as 1 already. So that's pretty good if your particular one requires grass. You should include 2 types of animals also found in your animal's habitat. The example I gave the students, for example, if your animal is the lion, there may be a gazelle or a zebra, a meerkat, something that shares that same habitat. Then you must have at least 1 example of your animal's diet. So whatever it eats, it needs to be depicted somewhere in that picture. If your animals are herbivore, then maybe one of your vegetations are the ones that it eats. Then you must include a water source. So where is it getting water? Is it getting it from a river, from a lake, from a pond, from a creek? Is it already in the ocean, so it's surrounded by water? All items need to be attached. That means that things are not falling out of your diorama constantly. It's all glued in. It must contain 3D elements, not just pictures on a flat surface. What that means is, if you decide to use, for example, construction paper for the whole thing, which is totally fine, just make sure they're like popping out of the box, or you make them 3D or make them pop out a little bit just to give it more depth. And then just to make sure that your name is on the outside of the box so we know who did it. If you follow all these steps, I'm sure we're going to get some wonderful projects, and I hope to see them soon. Bye-bye.